across, 7 across. Alright, I am not sure what just happened there.
Not again.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's YouTube or if it's PlayStation Network or if it's my network. I don't know why it did that. I'm going to give everybody a chance to get back on. I know, it's like I don't know what causes it. If it was bad weather, I could get it because Charter doesn't do underground cables for protection, but it's not bad weather out there today. Which means now I got to go in and do the edit on the videos because I still haven't edited last week's when it was doing all that dropping up stuff. All right, we're going to give everybody a minute, and we're going to throw that clue out. Unfortunately, sorry guys, it's just the way it goes at times. All right, Immingham and KTG are at least here, so we got my 2 players with scores on the room.
What up, list Wits?
Fatality, we were just talking about you. I'm thinking you knocked my system down. That's what I'm thinking it was, because we were joking about you.
Speaking of fatality.
Exactly. We're blaming Fatality for the lost connection. That's what we're doing. All right. So unfortunately, we got to throw clue 1 across out due to the crash. It was indeed bandana. The accessory is a bandana.
Adult jokes.
D in the middle of the fruit. Fruit filling is bandana.
New game, hide and seek.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Hide and seek. It's like I hide, I make you guys seek it out, or something like that. I really don't know what it is. Like I said, it's been pretty bad for the past 2 weeks, where it's just been dropping and
almost
failing.
Immingham.
Yeah, because like I said, if you come back in and give me the answer, I wouldn't have known what the score was, because I want to say it would have been 30, but don't quote me on that one. So that one we have to throw out, unfortunately.
I just got home from the grocery and video game shopping.
Uh-oh. See, somebody's got money. I wish I had money right now. I have too many bills. All right, Em. As you got the last correct one, you get to make the next choice. Again, so bandana is out, so you guys know that. So there's no score on that one. So Eminem, whenever you're ready, you get to choose the next word. We are filling up the Scrabble board tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And then after which we will be attempting to run a test game of the 7 keys. It's based on the Chutes and Ladders game. It was one of those games I really did not expect to get going, but it just kind of fell into place a little easier than I thought it would, with the slight changes I made. All right, 4 across. And the 4 across clue is you need 2 for dinner.
I get extra money stripping for Taco Bell.
For dinner. See, I told you, there's the adult jokes.
Where your ears ringing, fatality?
I thought his ears burning. You need 2 for dinner.
Hell yeah. Stupid autocorrect LOL. Chopsticks. Chopstick.
There you go, KTG. I couldn't give it to you with chopsticks because it was only in singular.
Knowledge.
And that was 1, 2, 3 came off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 60 points for that one because we only had 3 letters drop off when she threw it out there. It was indeed chopstick. You need 2 chopsticks. You can't work with 1. Well, you might, but it would be a little more difficult. All right, KTG jumps back up in the lead. And KTG, it is your choice, my dear. Where do we go next?
My stripper name is Negro Belgrande. 3D.
Negro Belgrande. All right, 3 down. This will be a 90-point word. Standing connector. And if you looked at the grid, you saw there were some letters that were already crossed. So you should know those even before they start dropping off the board. Standing connector. And ironically, that was one of the cross letters from chopstick.
Ankle bone.
Correct, KTG. It was indeed the ankle bone. And KTG jumps out to a huge lead at the moment. All right, KTG, whenever you're ready, you get to make the next choice. And ladies and gentlemen, as always, I try to plug a few other guys. I would love to, but I think the streamers are getting scared off. It is getting really, really quiet. Normally when I get on Saturday, when I'm bored and out of my mind, there's usually 12 or 13 streamers. There have been a grand total...
Horse ankle bone soup sound good right now.
I think there were a grand total of 9 people streaming today. Every time I'd go look. 3 of them, or well, one of them was somebody, they were all out in the yard, so the camera's just watching them. One of them was somebody sitting on a couch playing video games, and I was like, really? Danny Danger was one. It was probably about the only one that I was really, really into watching. It really was. And I'm not a big fan of the Danny Danger show, because I get the idea you're doing your podcast and you're catching it on camera, but it just doesn't make interesting streaming. It really doesn't. Or at least it doesn't to my knowledge, unless you're actually doing something while you're streaming. All right, KTG has chosen 5 down. And here is your question. They have produced more books than anyone in the world. They have produced more books than anyone in the world. And again, if you look at the grid, you already know a couple of letters in here.
Someone streamed hentai yesterday on Ustream. I thought it was an anime movie first. Publishers.
Correct, KTG. It is indeed publishers. I think somebody's owning this game right now. I really, really do. It was indeed publishers.
Publisher.
Really? Somebody was streaming hentai? Ugh. Well, see, the thing is, I could get the Ustreamers just like taking a break or protesting and not doing anything.
LOL.
Where were all the Twitch streamers and the Daily Motion streamers? I mean, there were some before all this, and they just kind of all seem to have disappeared. Like I said, I'm used on Saturday to not that there not being a lot of people on. There really aren't. But there are some people that I was used to seeing, and they're gone. And it's like I was used to seeing just the simple streams, and even those weren't there.
Too deep.
But yeah, it's one of those things where, all right, 2 down. Brings it to a trivial end. Brings it to a trivial end. And I try not to say that this stream sucks or this stream is boring or so on and so forth. But you got a camera, engage them somehow. It's the one.
Attacker. Anticlimax.
Correct, KTG. It is indeed anti-climax.
Attackers.
Brings it to a trivial end is the anti-climax. The climax is the big ending. So if you're not the big ending and you're the trivial ending, you're the anti-climax. Well, see, it's like when you do your video game fatality. When you do your video games, at least you're playing the games you're watching. When HBK did his video games, he's playing and he's talking to the people. I get that. If you're sitting on the couch and you're interacting with the people, I get that. It's like, okay.
Congratulations, KTG.
It's nothing out of the ordinary, but I get it. At least you're engaging. You're Ty and Babe, you're Super Dave, you're Hammer, you're Laura Croft. But you're like everybody else. And it works at times, it doesn't work at times. It just all depends. Then you got the guys like Nerdy, Macy, who I am big fans of, Dr. Jekyll.
I had an anticlimax last night. Then I wash my sheets.
See, there we go. Told you, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have to do the adult humor. I just wait for fatality to show up. I just have to wait for a fatality to go up, and we definitely move up to PG-13 ratings just like that. And I get the music streams. I really do. Okay, you guys are not going to be able to do Ustream or YouTube like you want unless you go in there and delete them. That's fine. Go do Daily Motion. Go do Twitch. Well, if you can do Twitch. I'm not actually sure.
Wits.
You can do
Sick
Twitch.
LOL.
Hey, Dan, how are we doing today? That's fatality for you, though. Adult humor, I guarantee I expect it. No, as long as we don't use the ultimate words, we're still in PG-13 level.
Name the anti.
Oh, I wish I'd come up with that line, Eminem. I really do. I like that one. That was a good comeback. That was a brilliant one, in my opinion. All right, KTG, whenever you're ready, you get to choose one of the last two. Although I will say I think it's a moot point at this point. But we always go through the entire game once we get started on this. Now, what I may do...
I swear I am not taught from Scrubs.
Are you sure?
9A.
What I may end up doing
anticlimaxes.
down the road, I may throw more words on these. I don't know yet. Because like I said, the trick is it fits right now with the 15 by 15 grid. 9 across. It often gets left behind. It often gets left behind. Yeah, pretty much, Mark. Just the way it goes sometimes. But this is one of the few where even once the score is pretty much beyond a certain point, I run through it because otherwise I have to squeeze the two or three words back into another puzzle somewhere. Whereas I can do that on the trivia ones. On this one, it gets kind of tough to do. It often gets
Luggage.
left behind. Nope, not luggage. And
Fatality.
I got to step in front of
Residue.
Correct again, KTG. It was indeed residue. And the final word of the Scrabble game tonight is as follows. They're addicted to Twitter.
I'm 1-8 sometimes, but the 24. Fatality. Splash.
They're addicted to Twitter. Oh, I even have KTG's page over there, so I don't have to worry about that.
Twitstroll. David.
Nope,
How
not
you doing?
Twitstroll. They're addicted to Twitter.
Good. Tweeters.
Nope, not tweeters. Again, think unusual definitions. They're addicted to Twitter.
Crazy fans LOL.
See, I wish I had crazy fans, but that's just me. Because then I could get the YouTube page up over
Can I buy a vowel?
80 subscribers.
Textiles grown.
Correct, KTG. Indeed it is. Textiles.
Textiles.
Told you they're not always good puns. They're not always good puns, but they are puns. They can be puns, double definitions, anagrams, you name it. I try to throw them in there on this game. So, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to KTG as she has taken the Scrabble game tonight. Congratulations, my dear. And with that, you get your choice of anything in the prize pile tonight. If you guys don't know, again, please check out the List Wits Game Show Facebook page. It basically has the catalog. It has all the prizes in it when it actually works like it's supposed to. For some reason, it's like every so often it only shows like half the photos, and I haven't been able to figure out why. It's one of those reasons I think it's my network that's screwy and not PlayStation Network or YouTube. Yeah, I figured that one might get a bad joke pun or a bad groan on the joke. So KTG, my dear, out of everything that's in the catalog that has not been given away.
What's up, List Wits?
Hey, Mr. Fears, how are we doing today? So we're waiting for KTG to pick
What's up, Fatality?
the prize of her choice.
Rafael is coming home to mama.
Uh-oh! Raphael. So, ladies and gentlemen, Raphael, one day on the prize shelf and one day off the prize shelf. Oh, wait a minute. I got your paper over here.
Raphael, sorry LOL.
All right, my dear Raphael.
Louis. How you
Is
doing?
indeed is indeed now belongs to the property of KTG. Like I said, I think I just got him put in the catalog too. I don't think he'll fit in the
Jizzy.
yeah, he'll find out one way or the other. And that means something has to go up in its place.
Cowabunga. I was thinking the Spanish version of Ninja Turtles. LOL. Good. Please don't tell Jizzy.
Even though he can't be seen right now. Alright, that one will probably...
Try doing it in parts then for the prize list on Facebook.
That one will probably not make it out on this shipment, but the next shipment. So that one will take a little longer for me to get to you, KTG. Now, you can double up tonight because you get a shot at the vault. And I'm hoping I haven't used this one before. I really am. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I gotta throw that one out now.
No problem.
Give me one moment. Damn it, I was going to use that one too. Shoot. Alright, give me one moment while I go get another one opened. That really sucks. It was not... Don't ask me why it did that. It revealed everything. Let me see if I can use this one. No, that's the one I just used. Make sure I can use that one. Okay. Alright, KTG. The rules are simple. You got 2 minutes to come up with up to 5 words that have been listed in strange and unusual definitions again. You're going to see a set of syllables at the top. Next to every definition, you'll see the number of syllables in the word.
18 days until Fatality Day.
Every word you get, every 2 words you get right, you're getting 1 extra number off the vault. If you get all 5 words right, you're going to reveal the secret word automatically. And if you can guess what the secret word is, you get the extra number off the vault. So with that, my dear, and again, you will have a 2-minute time limit from the moment I show this and reveal the definitions. So here are your 5 definitions. We have Cajun country. I wrote Golden God's boat. Not next to me. In constant motion. And give as good as you get. So your 2 minutes will start now. You got 2 minutes to try to come up with those 5 words. Every word you get right will reveal 2 letters in the secret word.
Bayou.
Now, I'm not going to reveal any of them until the 2-minute warning is up. Just so you know, I don't reveal any of them. 90 seconds left. Cajun country. I wrote Golden God's boat. Not next to me. In constant motion. Give as good as you get.
Give as good as you get. Ooh, behave fatality.
All right, you're down to 1 minute, KTG. Cajun country. I wrote Golden God's boat. Not next to me. In constant motion. And give as good as you get. And you're down to 30 seconds. Like I said, this is one of those where, as you guys can see, it doesn't always mean four numbers are coming off the vault. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time is up.
Thorship.
Thorship. Okay. So you actually got one word. You got bayou. So bayou comes off, and that means you now have 1 minute to come up with the secret word at the bottom. Again, it is always a 10-letter word. We do know the first letter is a B, and there is a U in the 6th letter. And your 1 minute starts now. So we're looking for the 10-letter word at the bottom. Again, the definitions no longer do you any good. So we know the first letter is a B and the 6th letter is a U. 30 seconds.
Bureaucrat.
You can keep guessing. It is not bureaucrat.
Binoculars. Bankruptcy.
Oh, it is indeed bankruptcy. She managed to steal one just coming up with those letters. It was indeed bankruptcy, which means you didn't get any extra words numbers off the vault for the definitions.
Wow.
But you do get one extra number off for getting the secret word. So you are actually getting 2 numbers off the vault tonight, KTG. That was an incredible guess. I think she was basically, she's got one of those like 10-letter things, just beep, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. All right, you said Thorship. You forgot the golden part. The golden part is AU, or authorship. Not next to me.
Nice one.
Non-adjacent. In constant motion. Kinetic. And give as good as you can get with the letters that are less. Reciprocity. Reciprocity. Yep, you got Thorship. You left off the AU for the golden part. But that doesn't really matter, as
bullets.
As you are getting 2 numbers off the vault, my dear. So we gotta do one other thing. Where is it? Oop, get back here. Dun, 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 dun. Where'd you go? There you are. So with that, we gotta turn down the music. And we have to get ready for the crowds. All right, KTG. So again, you get to take 2 numbers off the vault. We have 1 wrong number.
Let's go with first and last row for the 2.
First and last row. All right. So we're going to know what the first 2 numbers of the vault are. No ifs, ands, or buts. The wrong number in the vault is the 6. So we definitely know that the first 2 numbers of the vault are 0, 2. The last row, in which we're picking and removing an incorrect number, is the 1. So we are down to 4 possible combinations to the vault. 1 times 1 times 2 times 2. So you have a 1 in 4 chance right now, my dear, of walking out with 2 prizes tonight. So KTG, what is the 4-digit combination to the vault? Bear with me 1 minute, folks. I forgot to do one other thing today.
Zero 2 5 9.
0 2. Bear with me 1 minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, is the combination to the vault 0 2 5 9. Yes, it is, ladies and gentlemen. The combination to the vault this evening was indeed 0 2 5 9. Congratulations, KTG. You have just claimed the vault for the evening.
Emoji face with open mouth. Oh
now,
my.
Fatality, I'm going to tell you something that you did a long time ago. I think we had 4 numbers off the vault.
Nice job, congratulations.
We literally had, Fatality had won a couple months, I want to say it was about a month ago. And we had 4 numbers total off the vault. The first number he typed in was 0259.
What did I do?
You would put in 0259. And I said I couldn't take the guess yet because you had to remove the incorrect numbers.
You in trouble now, LOL.
No, Fatality's going to shoot himself. He gave me the combination to the vault one night, but he didn't complete all the steps beforehand. After he removed, I think, 3 numbers from the vault, he changed his guess completely. Basically, Fatality had this prize in his hands a month ago, and he gave it up on a mistake. Because I was ready to hand it over to him. I'm thinking he's not going to change his guess. He's going to take the bad numbers off. He's going to keep the same 4 numbers he used.
Oh no.
He gave me 0259 on that night, and then he changed it after we followed the rules.
OMG LOL, so sorry LOL.
All right, KTG, with that, you're not adding 1 prize to your collection. You are adding 4 prizes to your collection. KTG.
I'm on my way. Be looking out for a black Tahoe. Hey ha 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 ha.
Uh, KTG, I would like to introduce you to your collection of the 4 Star Trek collectible glasses.
Whoa.
These have been sitting in the vault for quite some time. But those have now been added to your collection, my dear. Congratulations. But yeah, I was like, I can't believe he changed it. Because because I thought I had goofed and showed the combination and I didn't say
Whoa.
anything.
Yes.
And the next thing I know is he changes the number. And I wanted to, it was one of those where I literally had to walk off just so I didn't reveal that he'd given the correct number the first time. All right, let's get that back up there. So those are all in. All right, that means I got to go pick
I just going to pull up and throw a big temper tantrum in your front yard.
Let me go see. What am I going to put in the vault next? Oh, I know what I'm putting in the vault.
Go buy a lottery ticket, KTG.
I know what's going in the vault next.
And go home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, give me 1 minute to close this out so I can open up the test game. So the only person that is not eligible to participate in this test game will be KTG.
HBK, ironically, someone won the big one last night in my state for the lotto, 500 million.
See, that's why I don't do lotto, because I know I'm never going to win it. All right, now, I got to get this open, so bear with me. And again, because this is a test game, there will be no vault involved, just so you guys know.
And then I'm breaking a switch out of a tree and whoop you in it. I'm going to watch Lesnar get his head kicked in and I am going to love it.
Oh, I guarantee you, he's going to get murdered. I don't see how anybody can root against Mike. I really don't. Alright, let me go see what I did with the 7 keys.
Wow, so they stole your lottery ticket then, LOL.
Alright, we don't need the title screen, so I can close that out. We may have, we're going to hope we don't have too many of this. All right. And I'm trying to figure out why I need one. Hold on. Let me go check something. All right, bear with me. And while I'm working on my debugs, we're going to put the music back on so you guys can hear it.
And I am going to kick you in the ankle with my size 1-2.
Okay, maybe I do have it as 70 questions at the moment. Or 90 questions. It's only supposed to have 70, but that just may be because I was cleaning it up and left some...
And tell my mama. He mad.
Okay, this is it, I think. Let me make sure. Yes, all right. Bear with me 1 minute, folks.
Let's all play What's My Line?
No P crazy mad lol.
Alright, we're going to turn the music down a little bit.
Rules time, I hope.
Yes,
Full
rules
fatality.
time. Alright, this game is based on the game called Chutes and Ladders. This is actually an old 1950s game show in which one player literally tried to win the Chutes and Ladders game in X number of turns. Oops. I know what I didn't do there. Gotta get it up so it shows up correctly. Now I'm going to apologize for the colors. I have not had time to adjust the colors on this. What you're trying to do is simply be the player in control of the board when you get to number 70. Okay? Once you get past 70, you basically won the game. Whoever is in control.
Wits and he knows it.
So, what we're going to do is we're going to start basically on question number 1, which is basically always the start question. It will be a toss-up question to everyone on the channel except KTG, because she won the Scrabble game tonight. If you get the question correct, you basically control the board, and we randomly determine how many steps you move forward. It will put you on another square. Behind one of those squares are one of 4 options. There's a penalty square, a bonus square, a question square, or a lose your turn square. Here's how it works. If you are in control of the board and you answer toss-up question number 1 right, we'll do a random forward steps. We'll move X number of spaces across the board. As long as you are in control of the board, you will have priority. So let's say it came up as 4 and 9. We'd move you forward to square number 10, and we will reveal what's behind it. If it's a question, you get first shot at the question. You get 1 guess at the answer. If it is wrong, it turns into a toss-up question, and everybody else gets the first person to give me the correct answer takes control. So you have to get the question right and be in control of the board when we get to number 70. There is squares in there called LYT. It basically means you're losing control of the board no matter what. You will not be eligible for the question that comes up. So those are the 2 ways you can actually lose control of the board. Okay? There are forward squares, which are basically free movement forward. There are penalty squares, which are automatic movement backwards. On a forward or backward square, there will still be a question involved. Now the trick is, if we hit one that comes up repeatedly, we just kind of ignore it, we bypass it, and we go on to the next one. It's basically a free spin, so to speak, or a respin. Alright, so I'm hoping that makes sense. If not, we'll try to explain it as we go along. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, we are at square number 1, which again is our start square. And here is the toss-up question. So again, whoever gives me the correct answer first and foremost.
Snakes and ladders.
Yes, snakes and ladders, or chutes and ladders as it's called in the States. Oh, wait a minute, give me one more moment. I actually have to get the file so I have the questions in front of me. but the entire principle of the game was based on chutes and ladders. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, here is the first question of the 7 Keys game. Oop. Best known for football, which superstar was the only athlete to play both in the World Series and the Super Bowl? See, this is where it's buggy because it's like it doesn't always print all of the question. It'll print like about 3/4 of it, and I still haven't figured out why. Best known for American football, which superstar is the only athlete to
Deion
have played
Sanders.
in both the World
Deion
Series?
Sanders.
And Mark is in first with Deion Sanders.
Bo Jackson.
It was indeed Deion Sanders. Nope, Bo never played in the World Series. All right, I'm going to make one quick change real quick. It's not going to affect the game. Oop. So that these questions are a little more readable. All right, that looks a little better. All right, so Mark has control of the board. Mark, we're going to move forward, so we're going to give you a random number, and the number is any number between 1 and 10. So the number of forward steps you'll be moving, again, this is the part I'm worried about, is 3 steps. So Mark, you have control of the board.
But Bo Jackson was a beast on Tecmo Bowl.
Yes, he was. So Mark, you will have first chance to answer this question before anybody else, unless it's a lose your turn. And it is simply a cue for question. And here is your question. The horizontal rows of the periodic table are called what? And you have 45 seconds with which to give me the answer. The horizontal rows of the periodic table are called what? And your 45 seconds starts now. Correct. It was indeed periods. So you are indeed correct. And that means you're moving forward. Another 3 steps. That's what it comes up with. So that puts you on number 7, which is a forward square. So you're automatically moving forward a certain number of spaces. 9 spaces. So we're going to jump you up to number 16. And it is another question. So again, Mark, you will have first shot at this question. And the question is as follows.
I don't get periods, I'll be on my exclamation point.
For over 5 seasons of The Walking Dead, what was the weapon of choice for Daryl Dixon? And your 45 seconds starts now. For over 5 seasons of The Walking Dead, what was the weapon of choice for Daryl Dixon? Yeah, like I said, this is the one bug. I can't, for whatever reason, it only does like part of the question when I show it.
Knife. Crossbow.
No, it was not the knife. So now the question is open to everybody. Now the question's open to everybody. For over 5 seasons of The Walking Dead, what was the weapon of choice of Daryl Dixon?
Clenches.
Nope, not clenches. Mark is locked out. Everybody else is in. over 5
Crossbow.
seconds. Correct, HBK. It was indeed the crossbow. Daryl Dixon's weapon of choice was indeed the crossbow, which means HBK is in charge of is in control of the board. And with the correct answer, we're going to move you forward. How many spaces, HBK? 3 spaces. Not a lot there. So we are looking at question number 19, and it is indeed another question. So just remember, HBK, you have first choice of this first answer. Over a dozen states, including Utah, honor what creature as their state insect? And your 45 seconds starts now. Over a dozen states, including Utah, honor what creature as their state insect?
B.
Indeed, it was the bee, which means you are still in control of the board, HBK. And we are going to move you forward another 3. What comes up? And on 22 is a lose your turn. Sorry, HBK, you just lost your turn, which means you are locked out of this question. Okay, so everybody but HBK can answer. And here is the question. After the passage of the Red Sea, after the passage in the Red Sea, what sister of Moses sang a song of triumph? Hey, Nerdy, what's up?
Boo. Lol. Miriam.
Correct, Mark. It was indeed Miriam. And Mark is back in control of the board. And we are on square number 22. We are going to move forward. How many spaces, ladies and gentlemen? 4 more spaces. So that will put us on square number 26. And Mark, I mean, you're going to have first choice at this, as it is a standard question. And here is the question. Resembling a punching bag, what flesh mass hangs from the soft palate? Resembling a punching bag.
Uvula.
And indeed it is the uvula. It is indeed the uvula. Yeah, I can't even say that now. And we are on square number 26, which means we're moving forward again. And this time we're moving forward 9 spaces. So that'll put us on number 35. And let's see if Mark gets a question, a forward, a penalty, or a lose your turn. Oh, he's got another question. So Mark, you will have first opportunity one more time. And here is the question. In the allegory of the cave. Whoops, I gotta go get it because again it's doing what it's not supposed to do. In the allegory of the cave. I gotta widen this. Bear with me. What classical philosopher writes that without philosophy, mankind mistakes appearance for reality? So in the allegory of the cave, what classical philosopher?
Plato.
Correct again. It is indeed Plato who wrote that. All right, and we are on number 35, Mark, which means you're going forward once again. And this time we're going forward. How many spaces, ladies and gentlemen? 6 spaces. So we are up to number 41. And 41 is another question. So Mark's getting lucky so far. He's hitting no lose your turns, no penalties. He's not getting any forwards though, so that may be a problem. Completed just a few weeks before his death, what final Mozart opera features Papageno and the Queen of the Night? And your 45 seconds starts now. Completed just a few weeks before his death, what final
Magic
Mozart...
flute.
Give me a minute. My computer is not liking me. And you are correct. It is indeed the magic flute. So you are still in control. You guys had the chance. Mark lost it on one. But HBK just kind of handed it back to him. And we have forward steps of 3 again. So we are on square number 44. And square number 44 is a penalty question, or a penalty step. Which means we're moving Mark back. How many spaces? 10 spaces back. So we're moving back to 34, Mark. So you got that many more questions, you got to answer correct. All right, question number 34. And it is another question. So again, Mark, you get first guess. Featured in an episode of Seinfeld, what country singer's line of chicken restaurants completely closed across America by 2011? And your 45 seconds starts now.
Kenny Rogers.
Correct. It was indeed Kenny Rogers. He was featured in one episode of Seinfeld, and not long after that, his entire thing pretty much disappeared. All right, so with that, Mark, we're going to move you forward. How many spaces? 5 spaces forward puts us on number 38. Or no, 39. I'm sorry, 39. I got to keep track. Hey, gamer, how we doing? All right, Mark, it's another question for you. So on square number 39, here is your question. What principle states when there are 2 competing theories, the simpler explanation is preferred? And your 45 seconds starts now. What principle states when there are 2 competing theories, the simpler explanation is preferred?
Occam's razor.
Correct, Mark. It is indeed Occam's razor. And we are on 39. So it is time to see how far forward we're going. 2 spaces. So we are going to number 41. And indeed another question. All right, Mark, here is your question. Oh, we just had that one. Ha! You got a freebie. We had 41 already, which is a freebie, which means we basically move forward again. One space forward. Didn't help much, did it? And question for number 42 is as follows. A year before it declared bankruptcy, what energy company posted $100 billion in revenue in 2000? A year before it declared bankruptcy, what energy company posted $100 billion in revenue in the year 2000?
Enron.
Correct. It was indeed Enron. All right, so we are on square number 42. Let's see how many forward we're moving. Mark? 8 squares forward puts us on number 50. And it's another question. So, Mark, you are still in control. And here is your question, Mark. What European country shares 2 land borders with Africa? Come on, Mark, learn to type. What European country shares 2 land
2-0
borders?
to go.
Yep, 20 to go. What European Union country shares 2 land borders with Africa?
Spain.
Correct, Mark. It was indeed Spain, which surprised me. I did not know this. That one did surprise me. I was not aware of that fact when I was writing these up. All right, Mark, let's see if you're going forward enough to make a difference here. Number 5. So we're jumping up to number 47. Wait. Shoot, I just lost where I was.
Five.
Thank you. I don't know why I was thinking wrong. I missed a number when I wrote it down. I'm losing myself. All right, number 55. I'm like, why am I thinking 42 when I knew we did a 50? All right, it is indeed another question. So, Mark, you are still in control. In 2010, Beyonce confessed to killing off what alter ego? In 2010, Beyonce confessed to killing off what alter ego?
Sasha Fierce.
Correct. It was indeed Sasha Fierce. All right, we're on number 55. Let's see how many steps forward we're going. 9 steps. So we're going up to 64. All right, Mark. Very important row here. And it is another question, so you are still in control. Rice-A-Roni contains what pasta whose name means little worm? Rice-A-Roni contains what pasta whose name means little worm?
Vermicelli.
Correct. It is indeed vermicelli. All right, this is very simple, Mark. If it's a 6 or better that comes up on this forward roll, you have first answer at the final question. If you get it right, you win the game. If you miss, we basically do a lose your turn, or we basically throw it up for the audience. So here it is. The forward steps is 1. Only 1. All right, so that puts us on number 65. And let's see what it is. It's a lose your turn anyway. That's totally random. Mark, you are locked out of this question. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody else can jump in. Here is the question. In nature, what comes in varieties such as ball, streaked, and forked? Just the way it goes, man. It is, I promise it is totally random. In nature, what comes in varieties such as ball, streaked, and forked? This is open to everyone but Mark.
Lightning.
Correct, Dr. Jekyll. It is indeed lightning. Lightning. Ball lightning, streak lightning, and forked lightning. All right, that means Dr. Jekyll is in control of the board on number 65, which means Dr. Jekyll, if it's a 5 or better, you can win this game on 2 questions again. It's your magic number, I think. The steps forward is 3. We are up to question 68, and 68 is a question. So Dr. Jekyll,
you stole another game from me.
Dr. Jekyll, you got to get this question right to stay in control of the board. Again, you will only have 45 seconds with which to answer. So here is the question. Earning over $730 million, the highest grossing tour ever was the 360-degree tour by what band? And your 45 seconds starts now. Earning over $730 million, the highest grossing tour ever was the 360-degree tour by what band? Your timer is running out, Dr. Jekyll. You got 15 seconds left. It is indeed U2. U2 basically earned $730 million for the 360-degree tour. He asked it in the form of a question. We're not doing Jeopardy. This is not Jeopardy tonight. All right. That means we are on, what number did I say we were on? 68, right? Yeah, 68. I think. Let me make sure. Yes, 68. All right, so Dr. Jekyll. One spin. If it's 2 or more, you get the final shot at the question. The spin is a 4, which puts us over the 70 mark and is the finish line. So Dr. Jekyll, it is very simple. You get first shot at this question. You got 45 seconds. If you are correct, you win. If you are incorrect, it is a toss-up, and the first player to give me the correct answer wins. So Dr. Jekyll, here is the question. What 2005 book by Stephen D. Levitt and Stephen J. Dubner is subtitled A Rogue Economist Explores the Hidden Side of Everything? What 2005 book by Stephen D. Levitt and Stephen J. Dubner is subtitled A Rogue Economist Explores the Hidden Side of Everything? And your 45 seconds has begun. What 2005 book by Stephen D. Levitt and Stephen J. Dubner is subtitled A Rogue Economist Explores the Hidden Side of Everything?
No clue, LOL.
30, down to 20 seconds, or 10 seconds, I'm sorry. All right, time's up. That means Dr. Jekyll is locked out. Dr. Jekyll cannot win this game. The first player that can give me the answer to that question wins the game. And I can hear all the Google fingers typing right now. What?
Freakonomics.
Correct, Mark. It was indeed Freakonomics. And Mark steals it back at the last possible second. Question number 70 will always be the hardest question I can throw out there. It won't be the wordiest ones like that
Nice
one kind of
one.
was. But it was indeed Freakonomics. And with that, Mark, congratulations. You have just won the first test run of the 7 Keys game. Mark was getting all the way up there, and he hit that lose your turn at 65, and he started to worry. He started to worry. And he just got lucky that A, it was a question in the final that Dr. Jekyll didn't know, and B, it took him 2 questions to get there. So with that, Mark, you get to claim the prize pile tonight. So the question is, what from the catalog would you like to claim? I got bad news for you, by the way, Nerdy. Raphael did not last long. Raphael was gone in a heartbeat. Zapmundo! All right. I gotta go get it because it is down here somewhere. Yeah. Surprisingly, it's been sitting here for a while. I think it's because I never really threw it out for anybody. There you go, Mark. Zapmundo is yours. The crazy would you rather game. So give me 1 minute. I gotta put a new sheet of paper together for that. Scary part is I knew exactly where she was. So Mark, that is yours. And like I said, these 2 prizes will probably not be going out this weekend or next weekend, but the following. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the test game for the 7 Keys. Again, let me know what you think, because like I said, the only thing I really don't like about it is the fact it doesn't always put the entire question on the board for some reason, and I still don't know why it does that, because everything's in the text file. It does everything beautifully except for putting it on the screen. I have no clue. Which means I do have some questions now that I will be swapping out. And that's the good thing about this board is I can keep them going. And the funny thing is Mark pretty much ran the board with the exception of the one question he didn't know about Daryl Dixon and the lose your turn. And he still almost had it stolen from him by Dr. Jekyll. He came this close again. But ladies and gentlemen, it is 9 o'clock. It is Saturday night. We're going to wrap things up here. Like I said, we did a 4-letter word. We did one game, and we ran 2 games tonight. And we actually got done it fairly early. Well, of course, that's because Scrabble tends to go by quick. And I got to put a timer on that one. That's the other thing I have to do. Timer. I knew there was something I was forgetting. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for being here with us tonight. We are here every Tuesday, every Saturday. Again, remember, we will not be on next Tuesday as I have work obligations that will keep me offline. So it'll be one of those nights where it's just like, I'll probably try to put something quick together for Thursday, but I'm not going to promise
The crossbow question was the last question, LOL.
No, on this game, questions 1 through 69 will
Good
be
night.
moderately difficult to easy. Question number 70 will always be, the final question will always be a tough one. It's just a question of me picking the right one that's actually solvable. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I want to thank you guys for being here with us tonight. Yeah, short show tonight. We will see you guys for certain next Saturday. And like I said, hopefully Thursday, Wednesday, or Thursday. I'm not sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, always remember, use the little gray cells. They're the best things you have that you don't exercise. And with that, we will see you guys on Saturday. Until then.
Text to speech unavailable here.